Every second, human drivers make over 200 decisions while controlling a 2-ton metal projectile moving at highway speeds. Picture this, your morning commute where you instinctively brake for a child's ball rolling into the street, navigate around a double-parked car, and interpret the subtle hand gesture of a construction worker directing traffic. Now imagine programming a machine to make these same split-second judgment calls flawlessly, every single time, in every possible scenario. Tesla's autopilot has driven over 6 billion miles. Waymo's cars have logged millions of autonomous miles. Google started this project in 2009. That's 15 years of development, billions in investment, and we're still waiting. The promise was simple: by 2020, you'd summon a driverless car with your phone. Instead, we're stuck with systems that panic when they see a plastic bag blowing across the road. This isn't just about convenience anymore. Every year, 1.35 million people die in traffic accidents worldwide. Human error causes 94% of serious crashes. Self-driving cars could save over 1 million lives annually. They could give mobility back to the elderly and disabled. They could eliminate drunk driving deaths completely. The technology that could prevent your family member from becoming a statistic exists in laboratories right now, but it can't handle a rainy Tuesday morning commute. Here's how self-driving cars actually see the world. Imagine having dozens of eyes spinning on your roof, shooting invisible laser beams in every direction 10 million times per second. That's LiDAR creating a precise 3D map of everything within 200 meters. Picture radar waves bouncing off objects, measuring their speed and distance like a bat's echolocation. Add cameras capturing color and detail that computer vision algorithms dissect frame by frame, identifying stop signs, pedestrians, lane markings, and traffic lights. All this sensor data flows into neural networks trained on billions of driving scenarios. The car's brain processes terabytes of information every hour, making calculations that would take human mathematicians years to complete. It knows the exact position of every vehicle, predicts where pedestrians will step next, and calculates optimal routes while monitoring road conditions in real time. But here's where it gets complex. Traditional programming uses rules: if this, then that. Driving requires intuition. When you see a teenager texting while crossing the street, you slow down instinctively. When a truck in the next lane starts drifting, you create space. These aren't programmed responses. They're learned behaviors from millions of driving experiences. Machine learning tries to replicate this intuition by feeding algorithms millions of driving scenarios. Show the system 100,000 images of stop signs, and it learns to recognize them. But what happens when someone spray paints graffiti on a stop sign? Or when snow covers half the octagonal shape? The human brain generalizes. AI systems often fail catastrophically on edge cases they've never encountered. Weather creates chaos for sensors. Picture LiDAR beams scattering off raindrops like a laser light show, creating false obstacles everywhere. Snow blinds cameras and covers lane markings. Fog turns radar readings into meaningless noise. Construction zones reroute traffic through unmarked paths that don't exist in any digital map. Self-driving cars excel in perfect conditions but struggle when the real world gets messy. The software challenge is staggering. Tesla's full self-driving system contains over 48 neural networks processing different aspects of driving simultaneously. One network identifies objects, another predicts their movement, a third plans the optimal path forward. These systems must coordinate perfectly while making decisions in milliseconds. A single software bug could mean the difference between arriving safely and causing a fatal accident. Now imagine you're an engineer programming a self-driving car, and you face this scenario: the car's sensors detect an imminent collision. It can swerve left into a concrete barrier, likely killing the passenger. It can swerve right onto the sidewalk, potentially killing a pedestrian. Or it can continue straight and hit the car ahead, endangering multiple people. You have 3 seconds to code this decision into an algorithm that will affect millions of lives. This is the trolley problem made real. Every choice involves moral calculations that philosophers have debated for centuries, except now these decisions must be programmed in advance by engineers who will never know the specific circumstances. Should the car prioritize its passenger over pedestrians? Should it consider age when making split-second life or death choices? Should a luxury car's algorithm value its wealthy passenger's life differently than an economy model? Insurance companies, lawyers, and legislators are still fighting over liability. If a self-driving car causes an accident, who's responsible? The manufacturer? The software company? The owner who failed to maintain the sensors? The city that didn't update road markings? Traditional car crashes have clear fault assignments. Autonomous vehicles create legal gray areas that could take decades to resolve. The economic disruption will be massive. Picture 3.5 million truck drivers losing their jobs as freight becomes fully automated. Taxi and rideshare drivers face unemployment. Auto insurance becomes obsolete when accidents become rare. Gas stations disappear as electric autonomous fleets dominate. Parking lots transform into housing and parks since cars can drop you off and drive themselves home. Cities will reshape completely. Traffic lights become unnecessary when all vehicles communicate directly with each other. Highway capacity doubles as computer-controlled cars follow inches apart at high speeds. Suburban sprawl accelerates when commuting becomes productive time instead of wasted hours behind the wheel. The entire transportation industry restructures around mobility as a service rather than individual ownership. But the transition period will be chaotic. Picture highways where human drivers mix with various levels of automation, creating unpredictable interactions. Different manufacturers' systems may not communicate effectively with each other. Hackers will target vehicle networks, potentially causing coordinated attacks on transportation infrastructure. Privacy concerns arise as cars track every movement, creating detailed profiles of our daily routines. The technology exists in pieces, but integration remains the challenge. Companies like Waymo operate successful robotaxi services in specific geographic areas with detailed mapping and constant monitoring. Scaling this to every road, in every weather condition, handling every possible scenario, requires solving problems that may take another decade or more. Meanwhile, incremental advances continue. Adaptive cruise control prevents rear-end collisions. Lane-keeping assistance reduces accidents. Automatic emergency braking saves lives daily. These driver assistance features are quietly making driving safer while we wait for the full autonomous revolution. The question isn't whether self-driving cars will arrive, but when they'll be reliable enough for widespread adoption. Current systems handle 99% of driving scenarios perfectly, but that remaining 1% includes the complex, unpredictable situations that separate human intelligence from artificial algorithms. Subscribe to Voidviz to decode tomorrow's tech.